The international community intends to shed more light on North Korea's human rights abuses this year. To dissect if we are delivering on the promises of improving the situation, our Connie Kim sat down for a one-on-one with Robert King, Washington's special envoy for North Korean human rights issues.
First of all, I want to start off with this year's UN resolution on North Korea's human rights abuses. Yes. For the first time, I believe that the resolution will express concern over the North Koreans sent overseas and the impact of the North's efforts to divert resources to its nuclear weapons program. What's the significance of these two new provisions in the resolution this year?
Yeah, I think the foreign workers issue is something that's had considerable attention over the last year or so. It's an issue that was raised in one of the special rapporteur's reports, and I think the fact that it's included in the resolution is just an indication of the importance of the issue and the seriousness with which we take it.
You are a very strong advocate of ensuring that North Koreans have access to outside information.
Yes.
How has the U.S. government been approaching this issue, and are we seeing some positive results on this front right now?
Basically, as many as 30% of this non-representative sample have listened to foreign radio, Korean language broadcasts from South Korea KBS, Korean language broadcasts from China that are directed to the Korean population in China, and then American radio broadcasts, Radio Free Asia and Voice of America, which broadcast into North Korea. So, information is getting in. There are increasing numbers of North Koreans who are going to China for business reasons. You can't go to China without recognizing that there are significant differences between North Korea and China, and this kind of information is getting back to North Korea.
Washington, for the first time, slapped sanctions on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this year. How do you decide which individuals be listed on that sanctions list?
Basically, it's a question of evaluating who are the individuals who are responsible for human rights violations. Are these individuals who personally and specifically have some responsibility for setting the policy or for carrying out the actions that involve human rights violations?
Last but not least, my question goes out about the North Korean human rights law that was passed in South Korea. Calls for the establishment of a foundation that examines North Korea's abysmal human rights situations. But unfortunately, the establishment of this foundation is at a standstill due to political reasons. What role do you think South Korea should play to send out the right message to North Korea and to the international community?
I think the creation of a foundation which will encourage human rights by making grants to other civil society organizations. It's something that we have done in the United States, and it's been a very positive influence in terms of making progress on human rights. And I think the experience here in South Korea, I'm sure, will be positive in that regard as well.
I think that's a wrap. Thank you very much for your time today.
Much.